Hey, and welcome to the Marvelously Morbid podcast. This is Sylvia.
And Matissa.
How are you guys? We're just sitting here talking about shoes and where you need to go to get cheap shoes if you're a woman. Go to the men's department for tennis shoes.
Yes, because they don't put women's shoes on clearance like they do men's. So
yeah.
And if you have you wear a size 10, don't you?
I do wear a size
10. We both
10.
have big feet.
Yes.
And I guess those are considered the smaller feet for men.
Yeah, they're the smallest they have, I think.
So those would be on clearance.
So that's your tasty tidbit of the day. Frugal tip of the day. Also, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the best days for Kroger manager specials.
Thank you.
If you have a Kroger. I don't know what Publix is doing or anything else.
You know, throughout the country, Kroger has different names.
Yeah, isn't one of them like Fred Meyer?
Maybe. I know, like King Super out Super,
west. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the one in the, like, farther south?
I don't know. I feel like when we go to Florida, all I see is Publix.
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen a Kroger in Florida. I don't know. Let us know. If anybody from Kroger, if anyone from Kroger or from Florida is listening, just let us know what you have down there. All I've seen is I think I've seen Winn-Dixie's.
Those are still a thing?
But those are in the past. Only when I time traveled back to the early 90s, I saw Winn-Dixie's. If you hear something, it's just me chugging Coke Zero. Don't be alarmed. Oh, so Matissa graduated from therapy today.
I did. I don't know if I really graduated or insurance was going to cut me off, but then I had the choice to step down to another program.
She got her GED.
I got my GED in therapy. But I stepped down, and I'm just going to see a therapist one-on-one. Because I think that'll be more beneficial.
And I'm also going to do that just on Thursday.
Yay.
Because that's my graduation date.
We did it.
I know, it sounds like we really accomplished something.
We did, though.
We did accomplish something.
I did.
Yeah. We really did. It'll help our mental health.
I do feel much better.
I do too.
You know, than I did 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I do too. I feel great. So what kind of things can we do to bring ourselves down now? What's the topic of the week? No.
This doesn't... Oh, okay. Sokushinbutsu. And I think I'm saying it right. You know, I do my research and listen to different pronunciations. Sokushinbutsu.
Let me just say, Matissa's much better at research than me. Because I half-ass everything. So if she says it, I believe it. But don't believe anything I say. Sokushinbutsu. Gotcha.
Yes. It is a Buddhist... Well, it's a practice where Buddhist monks entered mummification while still alive.
Okay, that sounds...
terrifying.
I don't even know how that... I can't even wrap my head around that.
I just heard about it a few months ago, and I was just shocked. I didn't think that was a thing.
I mean, how could you
or why would you? You know, like,
it's kind of like, it reminds me of just like, I don't know, burying yourself alive or something.
Which
just,
is what they do, technically. Okay. Which we'll get to.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yep.
That's how I want to go. I'm just going to bury myself alive. Nope.
We'll get started. No, I was going to say, we'll get started now because it's a 9-year process. So you're not going to die in 9 years.
No.
That was
Let's
making
start when we're like 71.
Yeah, that just made you sound like you're a senior citizen.
Well, little do you all know, I'm 80. I have a very youthful voice. But I'm retired.
Okay. So it was mainly practiced by members of the Japanese Vajrayana school of Buddhism called Shingon in northern Japan between the 11th and 19th centuries.
Oh my god, that's a long...
Yeah, that's
a
long time ago and a long period of time for it to be going on.
Holy crap, okay.
And Sokushinbutsu translates to become a Buddha in the flesh. So, you know...
Oh god. Can I just get a big Bailey and sit around with my legs crossed? Is that not good enough?
No.
Okay.
It's not.
Well, Story of my life.
Yeah. These monks believed that the sacrificial act would grant them access to Tusita heaven, where they would live for 1.6 million years, and they would gain the ability to protect humans on Earth.
That's oddly specific.
Mm-hmm.
1.6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
1 point, yeah. And they needed their physical bodies to remain intact in Tusita, obviously.
Well, yeah.
So they began mummifying themselves from the inside out to prevent decomposition after death.
Wouldn't that cause their death?
It does, yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's what their end
what
goal
they're trying
is.
to do, yeah. They're trying to die to live 1.6 million years in the afterlife. Okay,
Yes.
all right. Well, did they start? Well, never mind. I'll just let you go. What age do they start?
Just whenever.
Should I have
Anyone
started
can do it.
Okay.
No, you can.
Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it.
I mean, at any age, whenever you felt like it. But
Okay.
I'm assuming they were older.
I mean, I would hope.
Because why? Oh,
They
yeah.
started at age 11. No. By the time you're 20, you're mummified. You're a mummy.
Oh, okay. And now we're going to learn how to mummify yourself.
Oh, this is information that I need.
You really do need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it is a 3,000-day process for turning your body into a mummy.
Okay.
It was done mainly through a strict diet by abstaining from cereals, removing wheat, rice, millet, and soybeans. And instead, they would eat nuts, berries, pine needles, tree bark, and
You
I
had
know,
me
you
till
can barely-
pine needles.
and resin from trees. Like, they really just whatever they could forage out in the...
Okay.
That's all they would eat.
Okay.
And that's why the diet was called Mokujikyo, which translates to tree eating, which was essentially what they were doing.
Okay. So it's like the ultimate hipster.
The ultimate hipster.
Is that what we're going toward now?
I wish that... No, I was
We've cut
about
out
to say
gluten.
something mean, but I'm not going to. Okay.
No, we're not mean at all. Only internally.
No. And so the diet would become more restrictive and eliminate fat and moisture that could cause the body to decay after death. Because, there's a lot of water and fat, and the more of that there is, then...
Aren't we like mostly water?
We are mostly water. We want to get rid of it. We're trying to dehydrate
We're trying
ourselves.
to dehydrate ourselves. Well, they really should have just had like Taco Bell or something. Anyway.
So increasing rates of fasting and meditation would lead to starvation. The monks would reduce and then stop liquid intake, which would dehydrate the body and shrink the organs. And after completing a 1,000-day cycle on the diet, they were considered spiritually ready.
Oh.
But most did 2 or 3 cycles. Doesn't that sound fun? Yeah, not just one.
Oh.
So, yeah, rather
One's
than the
not
1,000 day, the 3,000
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just...
What was their weight by the end?
Oh.
Would you run from Callista Flockhart? Tell me, if somebody can name what movie that's from.
We've mentioned the movie before.
We've
think
mentioned the movie
we both
before.
love it, so I think we have mentioned it.
I'll give you $1,000. Yeah, right.
No, we don't
I'll
have
tell you if I had
$1,000.
I'll like it on Facebook. But okay.
And after the final cycle, they would cut out all food. And at this stage, some monks would drink tea made from tree bark. The Japanese lacquer tree, its bark contained the same toxic compound that makes poison ivy so poisonous. And ingesting this would have hastened death and would make the body less appealing to bacteria and parasites because it was full of toxins. And it also make them, throw up and all that stuff, so they would dehydrate faster.
God, that would make the body less
And
appealing
I think
to
that
them.
it, like this,
Oh no, got the hiccups.
that lacquer tree, is that what it is? Would, they use it to, varnish things. It was really toxic, so just drink some of that.
Okay. Well, now I'll know. In America, maybe we can just buy varnish. I don't know if we have lacquer trees here. I'm just trying to store all this in my memory bank for when I start.
When you start this.
When I get older, everyone will just be like, "You're aging horribly," and I'll be like, "Well, I'm literally turning into a mummy." But I'm literally
mummifying myself while still alive.
when I get older. No, I mean I'm already 80, so
You're 80.
How much older can I get?
So when the monk felt that death was upon him, because I think they were all men, his disciples would lower him into a pine box at the bottom of a 3-meter deep pit. And it was a tiny box, like you couldn't stand.
How deep is 3 meters?
What are meter? How many? Are there 3 feet in a meter?
I don't know.
I think, or that's in a yard. It's a little over 3 feet, I think. So what,
Okay.
9 feet? 10, we'll say 10 feet.
10. Wow. Okay.
And you couldn't stand in the ball. Why would they be? They're like, they almost starved to death. And
yeah.
they're just meditating. They're pretty much dead. And they would be in the lotus position, crammed in this box.
Wow.
And they would then pack charcoal around the box and insert a bamboo airway through the lid so they could still breathe through it.
I mean...
And then bury them alive.
So many questions.
Buried alive.
Like, why not just seal the box and smother? You're already mummified. Well, I guess you're not.
Not yet, Sylvia. Not yet.
See, here's where my lack of patience. I'm like, but what the hell? Why didn't they just do this? Well, no, Sylvia. You're not the be all and end all of monk knowledge. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the monk they were buried alive, and they would meditate and ring a bell to signal that they were still alive. So their disciples could hear that they were still alive. Okay. And when the ringing stopped, they were presumed dead. So the tomb was opened to confirm death, and the
what? Did we lose our space? We did not. We don't read.
We don't read. I have this all memorized.
Mm-hmm.
But 1,000 days later, the tomb would be opened. So if they were, they're confirmed they're dead. They stop ringing their bell. They look in. They're dead. They reseal the tomb. They seal it, take out the bamboo airway.
The breathing straw.
And then let them sit for 1,000 more days. So 3 more years.
Okay.
And then they would reopen the tomb, and the body would be inspected for signs of decay. And if decay was found, the body would be reburied, and you tried, you did, but you just didn't reach.
Good effort.
Good effort, which most people couldn't. I mean, this is hard to do.
No, you're not going to be able to slow. Well, you can slow decay, but how can, I don't know.
People did it, but most people that tried failed. Yeah.
I wouldn't know anything about that, but.
But if they were found, there was no decay, and they were found to be a true Sokushinbutsu, they were enshrined and put on display.
This keeps getting better and better.
And they dress them every few years. They change their outfit. They're dressed up in fancy outfits.
Like a American Girl doll?
Something like that. One of them was wearing sunglasses, and I just started cracking up.
One was wearing sunglasses?
I don't know why they hid their eyes.
Reacting out Weekend at Bernie's? Like, what?
I don't know. They just had on a fancy red outfit and sunglasses.
A fancy red.
I'll show you. I'll show you later.
We'll put a picture up on Instagram.
Have we put anything on Instagram yet?
We absolutely have. Don't you remember? No, we did.
No.
I did it.
Okay. Thank you, Sylvia.
Okay. One of us is better at researching and one is better at Instagram. We both have our strengths, and mine is not researching.
And mine is not social media at all.
But we're just doing our damn best, okay? Lay off of us, imaginary people who are on our backs, okay? God.
Okay, so hundreds of people have attempted self-mummification, and it's not known how many were successful because, they just kind of stumble upon them. They're up in the mountains and alpine villages, hidden in these tombs. Well, they're, tombs in the ground, so they're just kind of finding these guys.
I would shit if I was randomly up in the mountains and I was like, what the hell is that? Oh, okay. It's a sunglassed monk mummy. No, they put the sunglasses on before they mummified themselves. They got a pair of sweet Ray-Bans. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so some of them who were successful can be visited and viewed at their shrines. And to date, only 24 have been discovered that were successful.
Wow.
24. Yeah, there's a high failure rate, obviously.
Well, yeah.
And the climate in Japan, it's very humid, so that makes it very difficult to do.